Lydia. So today's video I'm going to be talking about the story of when I bought my very first car. With my car, I actually bought it with a car dealership. I got my book here just to refresh my memory because I won't be able to remember. Hopefully the camera's in a good angle. So where do I start? It all started when I was I was searching up on like Gumtree, the minimum amount that I want to spend on buying a car in general without the rego or whatever is $5,000 or under to pay for it. I just basically like wrote down, make sure it's in good condition, etc, etc. I came across this car and this car looks good, which I'm talking about the car that I have now. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's good. It's good pricing, it's $3,000. So I messaged him saying, can I inspect this car, etc. So I took my boyfriend's car that day. I remember it was on a Saturday. I went up the driveway and I was like, oh, there you go, the guy's there. So after that, I went up and then I'm like, oh, okay, so this is the car. I don't remember what the conversation was about, but I saw the guy. He said, oh yeah, this is the car, blah blah. And then he asks, oh, you want to test drive the car? Went for a test drive after that, and then he told me all of these things about the information about the car. I'll have to think about it. When can I think I asked him when I can come back, and he said, oh, I can come back tomorrow, which was on a Sunday. And I remember mentioning about, okay, so can I come back tomorrow to see whether I'm gonna buy it or not, buy the car or not. At the time, okay, I'm gonna bring my boyfriend along with me because I don't wanna, I wanna see if I actually wanna buy it when my boyfriend is like there in person. I just wanted to include him like in that chapter of my life of buying my very first car. So the same day I told my boyfriend, okay, can we go and check this car please? And we both went and checked it out, obviously. And then the next day we had church. It was on a Sunday, and I was like, oh, can we go there after the service? And he's like, yeah, okay. So the guy was like explaining all these details. Obviously my boyfriend was like kind of like really truly listening to the guy. I accepted the offer, but then my partner was like, you shouldn't, it's a bit tricky with this dealer's thing. So yeah, unfortunately I bought the car with my own money, and we went upstairs to like sort out the paperwork in his office. In one way, my boyfriend, he was like obviously very happy that I bought my very first car under my name. At the same time, it was like he was kind of upset that because the car dealership like was like a bit like it was not trustworthy at all. This is where the problem started actually. Well, the problem actually started when it came to negotiating, and the guy told us that the guy told me and my boyfriend that the registration will be going for about 6-7 months, so I won't be able to pay it. However, probably like a few days later or something, to put the car under my name. And yeah, but then I had to, unfortunately they actually cancelled the registration, which was supposed to be for another 6-7 months, and then I paid for it another for like when the 6-7 months come. But I had to pay for it, they cancelled me. So that was one of the dodgy things about dealing with the car dealership that I went through. Wow, okay. Anyway, so thinking back to what the guy said, he said something about another 6 or 7 months registration, so I didn't have to pay for it. But unfortunately they cancelled it, so I had to pay the registration around the time that I bought the car. And so that is not the right thing when it comes to dealerships. And the other problem was the car key, it was loose. I think to turn on the engine light of the car, the key thing, but there it is. So I'll just give you an example. So this thing, right, what do you call it? The key. So this part of the key was like it broke. So, well, yes, that was not a good experience for me. But obviously I got annoyed, but my boyfriend was actually more annoyed than me. So that was also another issue about the car key thing. The key was loose. The other one was that they had the audacity to call my boyfriend directly to his number. Like, I don't even know how many times, but they called him, like, to me it's like 1,000 times daily probably. And they called him and swore at him in his language, which was very unprofessional and very rude to deal with. It was from like my experience and also my partner as well. My boyfriend actually called him, I think, and he called them saying like about the key, etc., and they were like saying, why are you calling me? Is private, this is, I don't know, like out of business hours or something. But I personally think that the guy that, you know, was the guy that kind of like was annoyed, he could have at least be understanding and saying, can you please contact, you know, the work number instead of, you know, his number to deal with the key problem, instead of being so rude and unprofessional. Like for me, if someone called me, like I'm just saying an example, if someone called me and I had my own business, I would just say, you know, politely, can you please contact, you know, my work number, and someone else can assist you because I'm at home, you know, still sleeping, and this is, you know, out of business, this is unprofessional, blah blah. But no, the guy spoke to us in a very unprofessional way. And you know, at least be kind, because we bought the car and we, you know, we didn't do anything to be rude to them. Like we were just concerned about the car, about the keys, etc. So anyway, so that's one of the things that I found really annoyed about, which I think that they could have handled it in a different way. But yeah, they had, so basically they were like rude and unprofessional from my experience. They were annoying my boyfriend's friend in his language, which was very like, oh my gosh, so out of it. The other one is, apparently when I went to inspect my car, like to see if there's any fixing, oil leaking in my car, and apparently that's probably been there for a while, probably before I even bought the car. So that was a problem which I didn't even know, my boyfriend didn't even know as well. Just wrote a few more notes about, you know, when it comes to buying your first car, don't be like scared or whatever about my story and my experience. However, what you can get out of it is, from what I wrote, make sure to buy your car, or even your very first car, if you just got your license, to make sure to buy it with to make sure you have someone with you when you go buy your first car. Just make sure you have someone with you in person, make sure they know, you know, things about buying cars in general, or even the ins and out of about buying a car. So make sure that you buy it from a private way, meaning like, say for example, they have the car under their name and they're giving it to you and they're not under any company or dealerships. That's a good way of getting a car. If anything has happened to you dealing with car dealerships, or even anything that's similar situation, if anything like happened to you that's similar to what happened to me, or you know someone that's been through the same thing as me or similar, do please report it, take action to Service New South Wales or whatever the company is called in your state or country, to deal with it like ASAP within a few days. But make sure to take action immediately, because this can affect you emotionally as well and mentally. However, the positive note about having this car is because I've had memories with it. Even though it's an old car, I still have memories with it. It takes me to places where I want to go anytime, anywhere, and yeah, it's very beneficial. And that's, yeah, so that's my story of when I first bought my car. And that's all I have for today's video. Thanks guys so much for watching. If you want to follow me behind the scenes, I do have Twitter. That's the only social media that I have besides YouTube. If you want to stay up to date, I have Twitter. I normally post daily when I basically upload a video on my YouTube channel. So that's all I have. Thanks guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye guys.